Today on the Morning Edition, more questions than answers. A sixth officer-involved shooting this year alone in Anchorage. And APD says they're looking for answers in what led up to this event. We'll break down what we know so far. Plus, the flood threat in Mendenhall Valley is over, and officials are breathing a sigh of relief that the situation wasn't as bad as predicted. And later, back-to-school season is sweeping across the state as various school districts head back or prepare to do so soon. In Fairbanks, the new school year is primed and ready to start next week. So we sat down with the superintendent to see how they've prepared this year. We'll share those details as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Friday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. Yeah, as we said, just breathing a sigh of relief. There is no more threat. It seems like things went relatively well. Aaron, tell us what we kind of looked at, an overview of the past few days.
Well, when we were originally talking about the Mendenhall River and the flooding with that suicide basin release, we were anticipating a crest somewhere between 16.1 and 16.6 feet. But as we know, that was an ever-evolving situation. We kept moving the goalpost, and we also saw that crest lowering. Now, this is the current flooding timeline that we did see, kind of a rough estimate from August 11th through 13th. You can see that basin did become full Tuesday morning. Action stage was reached Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. when we hit that 8-foot mark. And then we hit that minor and moderate flood stage as we went from Wednesday evening on into Thursday, with major flood stage occurring overnight Thursday, with that crest occurring yesterday afternoon around 2:15 when we topped out at 14.7 feet. And you can see that flood warning did expire yesterday evening at 8 p.m., right at 7:59, but for all intents and purposes, that 8 p.m. mark. So you can see water levels continue to quickly drop. As of this morning at 6 a.m., we are at 6.12 feet, and we continue to steadily drop. So out of the clear in Mendenhall Valley as we are seeing some improved conditions. Now, things are still dry for southeast, and we've still got some heat advisories. So the additional threat we are going to see today, we are first alerting you to those heat advisory and the ongoing warm weather that we've got for southeast. Temperatures as we close out this week will top anywhere from 75 to 85 degrees. And as we've been talking about this week, a big concern continues to be this drought conditions that are trying to build into southeast. Now, the yellow that's showing, that is abnormally dry soil. That is a precursor to drought. The only drought we have in southeast is out towards Prince of Wales Island, and that is largely due to the lack of water supply issues. But there is some signs of changes heading our way. So coming up in my full forecast, we'll be talking about what's ahead. Heat likely to stay with us as we close out the week. A pattern shift underway next week, which will likely bring some rain and cooler weather to many areas of the state. I'll have more on that in that 7-day coming up.
I want to start by saying the details of the officer-involved shooting that I'm about to go to are going to be relatively short. The incident was short in duration, so there's not a lot of details that we can provide at this point in time.
A police shooting near a busy shopping plaza, a man in the hospital, and only a few answers so far. Police say the shooting happened near a daycare in northeast Anchorage. Officers were on the scene because of reports of a man with a handgun near the Walmart on DeBar. According to Police Chief Sean Case, the incident began after officers responded to that call. Jace Bertrand reports.
The male brandished a handgun while inside the store and then loaded the handgun while inside the store. He then left the location, walked across the parking lot, and fired one round in the air, and he then walked westbound on DeBar.
Police say the man was spotted by officers here, the parking lot of Russian Jack Plaza near the 6300 block of DeBar, and across the street from a daycare. Their
officers were able to identify and observe the subject and get within close proximity of him. Very shortly after that contact, the officer indicated that shots had been fired.
One lane of traffic going westbound on DeBar was closed for several hours as officers investigated the incident. More than a dozen evidence markers indicated where bullet casings had been left, as well as a bag, hat, and other items in the area. Case says the two officers on the scene rendered aid to the man, who was taken to the hospital and is currently in stable condition. Following the incident, APD is investigating the moments that led up to the shooting.
At this time, the only thing that I can tell you is that the officers observed him sitting in a parking lot, and the subject stood up, and after that, we're going to have to wait till the interviews to determine exactly what happened.
Case says one of the officer's body cameras and a cruiser's dash cam recorded the incident, though neither recording has any audio.
There's no audio on the camera unless the camera is actively activated either by the lights and siren or when the officer turns it on.
Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
Several questions remain to be answered, including whether or not daycare employees were notified of the situation before or after shots were fired. Records show this is the 18th officer-involved shooting in Anchorage since 2024 and the 6th this year. We're tracking the aftermath of the glacial outburst in Juneau. The Mendenhall River crested yesterday afternoon 2 feet below last year's record. At a briefing last night, Unified Command officials expressed relief that a series of natural factors kept the waters lower than predicted this year, but warned that preparations are already underway for 2027 as future risks remain high.
Remember that last year we started the event just below minor flood stage. This year the river was very low. So, if that were different, we could have seen a very different event this year.
Juneau City Manager also gave a shout out to the pumps provided by the Army Corps of Engineers, saying they made a huge difference, calling them workhorses. The HESCO barriers largely did their job with some damage to homes reported, but officials warn the river is still dangerous.
Frankly, we're very, very fortunate that nobody has been seriously injured or killed during this event.
An example of lingering danger as the river continues running high. This is footage shared during the meeting showing a large tree in the water moving quickly toward the HESCO barrier. The tree stretches over, puncturing the side of that trailer. Then you can see it pulling the trailer back toward the HESCO barrier. Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, every parent has the fear or concern about their child getting sick at school. But how sick is too sick to be going to class? I found out from the experts and will share what I learned after this break.
Excitement more than nervousness.
I'm pretty excited to learn new things, and I'm excited for the new teachers, new people.
I'm excited to see my friends, not for school.
Good, excited.
Sunshine to be expected as we head through the rest of your Friday and as well as weekend. We're also going to see some nice weather with a pattern shift next week. I'll have more on that. But first at sunrise, 6:06 in Anchorage, 5:18 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back in on this Friday morning. Looking over Midtown, those pastel skies, just a little bit of clouds. Aaron, what are we looking at so far?
All right, we're going to be looking at a gorgeous Friday across South Central. Plenty of sunshine to be expected. You may see some morning cloud coverage and possible morning fog, but overall today is shaping up to be a beautiful one. 56 degrees is where we're currently sitting at, with winds remaining fairly calm. Not a bad start to our Friday morning, and we are going to see temperatures later this afternoon warming into the 70s, possibly some mid to upper 70s as you head north into the Matsu Valley. But we're waking up this morning, 40s and 50s, the vast majority of the region up under mostly sunny conditions. But again, can't rule out some of that morning fog and possible cloud coverage that we do have for the first part of the morning. That's just from some lingering cloud coverage that we did see yesterday. So as we head through the rest of today, we're going to continue to favor many areas of the state warming. Still holding on to some of those heat advisories. We've been first alerting you out towards southeast with that heat, as those temperatures could top out as warm as 85 degrees. We've also got portions of western Alaska that remain up under a heat advisory. Now, in terms of the rainfall this morning, not as widespread as what we saw yesterday through southwest Alaska. We will be watching, though, some thunderstorm potential later today for southwest, as well as through portions of the interior. In the upper levels of the atmosphere, that ridge is reasserting itself across the state. So this is why we're going to see some of the nicer weather both today as well as into our Saturday. But there is signs of a pattern shift that is heading our way as we welcome in next week, as soon as really as about as early as Sunday. So we stay dry today for the vast majority of South Central. Can't rule out some of those diurnal thunderstorms that'll fire through the valley, as well as portions of the Copper River Basin later this afternoon into the evening. So if you're caught up under one of those thunderstorms, do note that will be possible later today. Kodiak seeing some rain showers for your Friday. Saturday, largely dry. But as we welcome in Sunday, we'll begin to see rain building back in across South Central. We'll see a break in that activity and then more rain as we head from Sunday night on into Monday. Now, we will see some dry time next week. This is not going to be all day, every day, widespread rain, but we do have that trend towards that pattern shift that's going to lead to wetter and cooler conditions. So rain for Kodiak today, and then you can see as we welcome in the weekend, more so by Sunday on into Monday, that's where we'll see that better chance for rain building in across South Central. And right now, it does look possible that Anchorage and surrounding areas could see up to an inch of rain accumulation as we head through the close of next week. So again, next week does look to bring that pattern shift, which will also drive in some of those cooler conditions. Today, though, get outside, soak up that sunshine, go for a hike, go biking, enjoy it. Maybe go along the coastal trail. We've got those temperatures in the 70s, mid to upper 70s possible in the Matsu Valley. You can see near 70 Saturday, and then there's that pattern shift next week as we see those temperatures drop into the low to mid 60s.
Most parents want to see their kids happy and healthy. To help with that, the Anchorage School District has more than 100 nurses ready for the new year, and their top health official says knowing the rules now could keep your whole family healthier this fall. Danny Tompkins joins us now to share what you need to know.
Anchorage School District calls it a germ factory. And with school starting soon, Healthcare Services Director Kathy Bell says there are clear rules for when your child should stay home and what you need to do before they ever walk through the door.
If they have a temperature over 100.4, they should be staying home. If they have diarrhea, they should be staying home. If they vomited more than twice, they should be staying home.
Bell says if your child just has the sniffles or a small cough, they can still go to class. But rest, fresh air, hand washing, and healthy foods are the first line of defense. And this year, vaccines are non-negotiable.
Our state says no shots, no school. We're going to try to enforce that a little bit more this year. Some parents don't believe in vaccines, and that's okay. Every parent has their own personal choice and belief in that.
If your family needs vaccines before school starts, the district is offering free clinics. And parents who choose not to vaccinate can file a medical or religious exemption. But those forms must be signed after July 1st and renewed every year. And the first free clinic is actually today from 3 to 7 at the ASD Education Building. 2 more are planned on August 25th and September 16th, and all 3 are free. Kristen?
All right, thanks, Danny. And then the district's How Sick is Too Sick guide is also available on the ASD website, along with a list of reduced cost clinics for families without insurance. The new school year in Fairbanks is set to begin next Tuesday. And as that first day approaches, Alex Bengal caught up with the district superintendent to learn what parents and families can expect this year.
Fairbanks North Star Borough School District Superintendent Luke Meinert expressed optimism for the 2026-2027 school year as it approaches.
We're feeling great coming into the school year. I always measure my years by the start of school, and so really excited to kick off this new school year and showcase a lot of new great things within our school district.
Officials were able to lower class sizes and add back elementary school music in this year's budget after years of cuts.
We continue to hear from families and students how they really want instrumental music back in their elementary schools, and so that will be available for our students this year, which we're really excited about.
Meanwhile, Meinert says the district is implementing a new model to assess threats at schools, partnering with Alaska State Troopers, the district attorney's office, and the Division of Juvenile Justice.
It's really if you see something, say something so that we can make sure that we respond proactively to ensure that students have the support they need and so that nothing dangerous happens within our schools.
The superintendent says the district is making a push to partner with families in order to better support their students.
We have a great teaching staff and great schools here in the district, and they are ready and eager to see your students. So we can't wait to see your students come next Tuesday.
Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
And Fairbanks is starting the school this year without a charter school more than 350 families had hoped for. Pearl Creek Steam Charter School will not open its doors this school year. It was approved by the state, but the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District refused to open it. A Superior Court judge declined to force the issue in June. The case is now before the Alaska Supreme Court. Both sides aren't backing down, and founding parent April Monroe says the community is energized, while the superintendent says the district is standing firm.
We just get emails back from people saying, what can I do? You know, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. These are our children. This is our community. We're going to take back education in our town.
Our current stance is really challenging the state's position in terms of their legal authority to impose a school within the school district. Our local school board voted unanimously on the charter application, and so we feel strongly in local control of our locally elected board.
Pearl Creek's founding parents are now targeting the 2027-2028 school year for opening.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.